told your friend you're not okay.
The global entertainment world was shaken once again. Not by a sudden comeback, nor by a mysterious teaser, but by a simple statement from Kim Taehyung, a name that has never truly left the spotlight. Despite his active-duty military service, Taehyung once again demonstrated that his influence extends beyond the stage, beyond the entertainment industry, and even beyond the uniform he now wears. His words resonated not only with his fans but also with his fellow soldiers and the wider public. Taehyung, also known as V of BTS, has once again become a major topic of conversation after revealing that he and the other BTS members have plans to hold a multi-country concert tour. To some, this may sound like ordinary news. But to ARMY, and to anyone familiar with BTS's journey, this statement was a wake-up call, a strong signal that the long wait is slowly taking shape. What made this statement even more meaningful was the timing and the circumstances. Taehyung didn't deliver it on a grand stage, nor was it at a major press conference. He expressed this hope while still carrying out his military duties, standing alongside other citizens, living his days with discipline and responsibility. This is where the public saw a different side of Taehyung, not just as a global idol, but as a man who remained committed to his country while nurturing big dreams with his group. Many reports have stated that Taehyung's presence in the military environment left a lasting impression. Fellow soldiers and the surrounding community saw him as humble, calm, and unassuming, not using his global celebrity status as a point of difference. However, it was precisely from this attitude that admiration grew. When a figure as prominent as Taehyung spoke about BTS's future and world tour plans, his words felt honest and confident, not mere rhetoric. This statement about the international tour seemed to answer a question that had been lingering in fans' minds. During the group's hiatus, ARMYs worldwide chose to persevere. They waited without a definite date, without a clear promise. All they had was faith that BTS would return. And now, through Taehyung, that faith was beginning to gain concrete ground. The reaction was inevitable. The media quickly picked up on this news as a significant signal about BTS's future. The fan community was once again alive with extensive discussions, analysis, and hopes united by one word: reunion. Taehyung's name once again topped search results, not because of the controversy, but because of the hope he brought. More than just a concert, BTS's planned world tour was seen as a symbolic event. It wasn't just about performing in various countries, but about the long journey of 7 men who had gone through peaks of popularity, periods of hiatus, and even mandatory service to their country. This tour would be the moment when they stood together again, carrying the stories, wounds, dreams, and love they had accumulated over the years. Taehyung, in his characteristically calm, sincere, and meaningful way, seemed to represent BTS's voice during this transition. He didn't overpromise, but rather conveyed the confidence that BTS's future was being seriously prepared. In the public's eyes, this demonstrated maturity, planning, and long-term commitment. Equally interesting, the enthusiasm wasn't just coming from South Korea. The news spread across the country, sparking speculation about tour destinations, concert concepts, and even the possibility of an emotional moment when BTS would return to greet their fans after so long separated by time and commitment. It all began with a single statement made amidst military routine, a contrast that only heightened its significance. Now, the world could only wait. Waiting for the day when that promise would become an official announcement. Waiting for the day when 7 names would be called out in one breath, on one stage, under the same spotlight. But one thing was clear: Taehyung had rekindled the flame of hope. And that flame was now burning in the hearts of millions around the world. This rekindled hope was no longer just a whisper among fans. After Taehyung's statement surfaced, the atmosphere surrounding BTS slowly shifted. Something was moving, something quietly but surely being prepared. Many realized that BTS had never truly stopped. They were simply taking some distance, strengthening themselves, and regrouping before moving forward together again. Meanwhile, in fact, after Taehyung's statement spread, a larger wave of reaction began to emerge. The public slowly realized that those words weren't spontaneous, meaningless remarks, but rather part of a bigger picture that had been carefully crafted. Behind the silence of BTS's hiatus, there was planning, patience, and promises kept. Among soldiers and the wider community, Taehyung's name was once again a topic of conversation, not just as an idol, but as a figure who brought pride. Many noted that it was rare for a public figure with his influence to continue speaking about the future of the team and togetherness, instead of solely focusing on his individual career. This further strengthened Taehyung's image as the BTS member who always put the group above all else. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, ARMY began to read every word with meaning. For them, the statement about the international tour wasn't just a concert plan, but a meeting point after a long wait. Years filled with longing, silent support, and uncertain trust now felt like they had a direction. Taehyung seemed to remind them that the passing of time wasn't a separation, but rather a process leading to a greater meeting. Many entertainment industry observers believe that BTS's return with a world tour will have an impact far beyond music. It will symbolize the return of a global phenomenon that had paused, not because of a loss of direction, but because of responsibility and maturity. Taehyung, through his statement, indirectly shows that BTS never really left, they were just preparing. Interestingly, even though there are no official details yet, enthusiasm is already everywhere. Speculation about the concert concept, setlist, and even the message BTS will convey in this new era has begun to fill discussion forums. But amidst the frenzy, one thing remains: the meaning of togetherness. A tour across countries isn't just about location and audience size, but about reuniting between BTS and the millions of people who grew up with their music. Taehyung himself is often known as an emotional yet reflective figure. His words are rarely overblown, but always leave a deep impression. It's no surprise, then, that the public views his statement as sincere. Beneath his military uniform, he still carries the identity of being part of BTS, an identity that hasn't faded with time or distance. Furthermore, this statement also sends a powerful message of loyalty to a shared dream. While many groups choose their own paths, BTS continues to emphasize that their journey is a collective one. Taehyung, in this case, embodies this value. He speaks not only on his own behalf, but on behalf of the 7 people who have walked side by side since the beginning. Now, the atmosphere of anticipation feels different. It's no longer just anxious anticipation, but rather a weight filled with confidence. Each passing day brings the public closer to the moment when BTS will once again greet the world as one. And when that day arrives, many believe the energy it creates will be far greater than ever, born from a long yearning and incredible patience. Taehyung, without realizing it, has opened a new chapter in BTS's long story. A chapter that began in a quiet place, far from the spotlight, yet filled with meaning. From the military to global conversations, his words have become a bridge between the present and the future. And to this day, one thing remains constant: the world is still waiting. Waiting for 7 names to be united again by music, by the stage, and by an unfading love. This story continues, and judging by the direction of the wind, one thing is increasingly clear: BTS's return is no longer a matter of if, but a matter of when. Amidst all this anticipation, one thing is worth remembering: BTS's story has never been rushed. Every step is born of a process, and every promise is made with full awareness. Taehyung's statement is not just a momentary tidbit, but a sign that this long journey is heading toward a meeting point that many have been waiting for. For now, the public may not have a date, may not have the details, and may not have seen the stage erected. But what is certain is that these 7 names are still marching toward the same goal. And when the time comes, the world will once again witness BTS's return not only as a group, but as a symbol of perseverance, togetherness, and promises finally kept. We will continue to follow every development, every sign, and every update about Taehyung and BTS. So be sure to stay with us at Kpop News.